We are doing our Alpinestars R10 ride and review. Alright, what is up guys? It's your boy Stickers. I'm back with another video. Right now has been a long awaited video from you guys. Oh, we don't have that ability right now. We are doing our Alpinestars R10 ride and review. A lot of you guys know I have this helmet and have been asking when are you going to do a ride and review so we know how it stands up against the Pista and the KYT. Well, to start, this isn't going to be my first ride like I did with the KYT. This is my second, actually this is my third try. My first try, there was way too much wind noise in the mouth area without the chewy skirt. This time, I am trying to do it okay, I got the vents taped over. Let me make sure that, yeah, the vents are closed. So we're trying it now for, the second time didn't have the shoey chin skirt. Then the second time I tried it with the shoey chin skirt, but there was enough wind seepage inside through the mouth vent, or the nose-ish mouth vent area, that it destroyed all the audio. So now we're on our third attempt on using the Alpinestars R10 to try to make a ride and review video with. So, from what I've experienced with this helmet, it, yes, is a very great helmet, but for you to have to buy a whole separate piece for you to get it and it to quiet it down and to work like a helmet is supposed to, I think is ridiculous. Yes, it is only a $20 item, $25 item on Amazon to get the shoey chin skirt, but to have to do that when you're already spending $11 to $12 to $1,300 depending on the one you select, I think is really annoying. So in my honest opinion, that is something that I really dislike about this helmet right now. A second thing about it is I do not believe it is as aerodynamic as the other two helmets. The reason why I say that is there is more head drag, and it is, your neck does have to work more than the other two helmets. So, is it aerodynamic? Yes, it is very aerodynamic. It is more aerodynamic than a lot of street helmets. It is a race helmet, being full carbon fiber. So yes, it is very aerodynamic, but I would put this at number 3, or just 3, as those fingers are put together. I would put this at number 3 for how aerodynamic it is. One of the big things I noticed was, while at decently higher speeds, of course, on close courses, when you look over your shoulder, the amount of wind drag is extreme. And you guys are going to hear a lot of air when I do that. The KYT is the next one better than this, that had a little bit less wind drag when looking over your shoulder. Of course, on close courses at like 90 plus. There is more wind drag and push on that helmet than, or less push than this one. And then of course, like I've said in the KYT video, in my honest opinion, the Pista is the best of the 3 now, because you can be going significantly in the triple digits and have to look for a car over your shoulder, and it will not drastically affect your head. I don't know what it is about the Pista's teardrop shape, because all 3 of these helmets, ooh, it's windy today, all 3 of these helmets have that teardrop shape. But yes, for some reason, out of all 3, this one is the worst. Like even at 880, as you guys see I'm going, and I look over, I hear wind seeping through the visor, which the Pista doesn't do. The KYT also doesn't do. I think maybe their locking mechanism on the helmet that locks down the visor is tighter and keeps maybe less air from seeping through. But every time I do that, I know you guys are hearing noise, and that noise is coming from inside of the visor, or squeezing through the visor. So yeah, so that's one of the things. It is extremely light. That is one thing I will say that I do really love about it. It does feel, I don't know if it is lighter than the Pista, but it feels really light to move around in with the bigger race spoiler. I do have the red and white version, which I will show you guys off the bike and will be in the thumbnail of the bike after. Oh, now I'm getting really windy going over here by the beach. But yeah, no, so that is one thing. It does feel pretty light. Just the one thing, how I said I did dislike was the wind noise. Trying to look over at any time, anything above this speed, it is difficult to look over your shoulder without really having to fight the wind, which is very disappointing in my opinion. When there are two helmets that one is at the same price point, one is at a lesser price point that do it better for a race level helmet. One thing I will say, it's not going to all be bad, that I do really like about this helmet is how it fits. How the pads are meant to cup your ear, I think is extremely nice and comfortable. The material that Alpinestars used is, I think, a really good material. I don't think the material is honestly going to last very long with multiple uses and skin oils. I wear a ski mask, but skin oils that do touch it, I don't think it's going to last very long, which does kind of suck. But besides that, I do like the interior. On the inside, something that's super awesome is something on the inside that I do really like about this helmet also is it does come with the Cardo cutout. So it having a Cardo cutout means that you don't have to modify your helmet in any way. I know some people have to end up cutting their Pistas to try to fit it. I did make a video of how to do that on a Pista without having to cut the pads out. If you guys would like to watch that, it is on my Instagram, YouTube, and on my TikTok, so you can choose which platform you want to see it on. But yeah, I do have a video on how the best way to install a Cardo system on your Pista. But yes, the Alpinestars R10 comes with the cutouts for that, which make it really nice. But a negative, there isn't a clean place to stick on the Pista on the side of the helmet, which is weird. Like, you either have to put it way forward or you have to tuck it way back and at an angle. So it's a kind of awkward on installing the Cardo actual mounting unit for it. Like I said, the interior parts of it is great. Other than that, I think it was a piece of cake to install the Cardo. What else on the inside? Is there anything else? Oh, another huge thing that I love about Alpinestars is that they send you the smoke visor. I think it's a medium smoke with the helmet. The one I got also came with the really nice Alpinestars carry bag, which I love. I think the Alpinestars carry bag is a great carry bag. But yeah, for $1,100, which other brands, I think the KYT cost $110 for their chrome dark smoke or colored visors, and then AGV Pistas are $150. So there are pluses and minuses to every helmet. I'm gonna open up the visor, get a hop. One thing I'm used to that I don't like, but some people do, some people don't, I don't have the ability to flip closed my helmet, but I can prop it halfway open and get some air to my face. I can close it. Let's go. So that's one thing I do kind of like. I'm so used to having the Pista and being able to do the Pista flip, like once I get ready to go, that I think I would prefer that than the stoppers. And I know there are ways to modify your helmet if you wanted to add those stoppers to your helmet. But that's one other item that it isn't a problem, but something I'm not used to. The KYT also has stops, so it is more like an old school style helmet. I don't even know why they stopped us here. There is no car turning or anything. Come on. There we go. back off. But yeah, so I think that is pretty much everything for this Alpinestars R10. Like I said, it is a good helmet. When I compare it to other helmets, I think it would be my third option on the one. If I chose to ride, what helmet am I gonna pick? I think the Pista is the first pick of mine, and not just, like I said, because it's a Pista. I've paid for all three of these, and I think just off of my experience of how the helmet feels and everything about it, it's a slightly lacking helmet because of yeah, so I think to kind of wrap it up with this, it is a nice helmet, a good helmet, I would say. If you love Alpinestars and want to match all of your gear, I don't think there's any problem with this helmet if you're an Alpinestars guy. But in my honest and personal opinion, I would put it number 3 out of all of my helmets that I have ridden, or yeah, for my race helmets, I would put it at honestly number 3. The price point is up there with the Pista. It doesn't have the aerodynamics, I feel personally, of the Pista. Pluses, it does have the Cardo, so if you're big into Cardo, don't want to have to do the work to custom modify your helmet to fit a Cardo system, then this is probably the best one for you. It easily goes in, and it easily fit the 45mm speakers, which we have installed on here, which is the new Pack Talk Pro. Ooh, that was a big old pothole. So if you want the ease of installing a Cardo and a great helmet that just isn't as aerodynamic, then this is a great helmet for you, and I don't think there is a problem with it. All right, but yeah, everything about this. Oh, and the last thing I want to talk about this, I do think it does have decent wind noise reduction. It isn't, for being a carbon helmet, very ridiculous at slow speeds, except for those high speed seepage through the visor. And if you don't have the Shoei chin skirt, all the wind that comes up from underneath the visor into your face. Without that Shoei chin skirt, it also was drying out my eyes, drying out my lips. It was really rough. That was one other thing I forgot to touch on when I was on the freeway talking about wind, was there's a lot of wind noise without the Shoei chin skirt. When it is, it makes it a lot better, but there is a significant amount of seepage when you are going a little bit faster through the visor and other cracks in the helmet. But all right, guys, that is my Alpinestars R10 ride-in review. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope this is gives you a little insight onto the race helmets. I will pop up right now my KYT ride-in review, and if I know you guys do give it a lot of hate, but if you guys want me to do a Pista ride-in review, I can make that separately. Just leave a comment saying yes, that's something you would like to see. I haven't, because like I said, it's my favorite one, and it is a very pricey helmet, the Pista. but I haven't done a review of that one. So if that is something you guys would like to see, make sure to drop a comment and let me know too. But thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.